drives are more leisurely these days, but it's fair to say that Kim Baker's mind is always racing.
Kim Baker is the leader.
We dominated that race.
And Kim Baker wins the SCCA World Challenge here in Lime Rock.
When Kim Baker climbed behind the wheel of a C4 in the 1980s, he reestablished Corvette as both a racing mainstay and a showroom icon. Riding his heavy right foot to victory lane, his tinkerer's mind to next-gen innovation, and his overall domination to eventual banishment.
In 3 years of running Porsches against Corvettes, the Porsche never won one race.
He's amazingly smart.
He's just the whole thing.
You could just see him change into this animal that just was not going to give up on a corner.
We'll go back to the starting line of this track master's influential career and maybe even get a few tips on how to set up your own Corvette.
Is disassembling the car to the bare frame. Design a roll cage. Bzzz. Wheels. Dyno test everything. Cooling system. Asymmetrical alignment. Bzzz. 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 Done.
Even as a kid growing up in Western Massachusetts, Kim Baker was miles ahead of everyone else.
When I was in grade school, I'd usually be ahead of the class on getting things done, and I'd spend my time drawing race cars. And it looked like a C4 Corvette for some reason.
It wasn't long before he turned those hand-drawn dreams into mechanical obsession, plugging into the local racing circuit at an early age.
Started with quarter midgets, go-karts, mini bikes, anything with wheels that you can make go faster.
But racing was not only a fixation for Kim Baker, it was an education.
Every car I've driven, I've learned something from. It was definitely in me, and that's what I wanted to do to earn a living.
Kim got his first big break in professional racing with Fiat. And when his tiny team started winning manufacturers' challenges against larger factory crews, he knew greater success was just a matter of time.
The Fiat company was great to me. Every manufacturer could bring 1 or 2 cars to it. And my little team with like 3 people, we defeated all the big companies 3 times.
After those winning Fiat seasons, Kim was ready to make the leap to a higher class. And he had his eye on a very specific car.
That was the first season I raced a Corvette. I preferred to have an American car. I'm a patriotic person, and I like America, and I like Corvettes.
He knew he had a great car, and he wanted to participate in that greatness.
And I thought I could get the overall victories, and we did, including the national championship in '84. And the funny thing about that '84 national championship, when the checkered flag came down, I didn't win it. I was second. But the first place car had a boost control inside the car, which is not legal. So when he got back to tech inspection, he was out, I was in.
Winning that first championship drew the attention of sponsors like Bernie Finkel, who provided Kim with more cars and resources.
They knew we were basically a private underdog team. They wanted to win too, and it really worked out well.
The following season, he switched to endurance competitions, assembling his Baker racing team with like-minded car junkies, and a critical piece from his Fiat days.
John Bruce, my longtime friend, he was the best strategist of all.
He said, you know, SCCA is starting a pro endurance series. What do you think? I said, I'm up for it.
Kim was pretty much a one-man band, but he put together a hell of a team that I'd put up against a Penske.
Kim has this amazing ability to put together incredibly good people, work together, empower them to make decisions, and get the most out of them.
He was all about preparation, building the right car, making things last. He knew when things were going to break or not break. He knew ahead of time what was going on.
I had a good, really good team. Everybody had the desire to win. Nobody was there to have fun. We were all there to work and win the race.
I wouldn't give the experience up for $1 million, but I wouldn't do it again for $1 million either.
He built the best cars, he was the best driver, he prepared the cars the best, and we won the series because we had the guy like Kim Baker behind every one of those different aspects of what you had to do to make a winning car.
All that hard work and preparation led to victory after victory, even when it wasn't supposed to.
We were running away with the championship that year. The organizers came to Kim during a race and said, Kim, what would you think about letting so-and-so win this one? And twice, Kim said, okay. The first time it happened was at Mosport up in Canada. Kim pulled over to the side a bit and let the second place car go ahead. And so what happened on the last lap of that race? The car that he let pass broke. And so guess who won? The other time was at Sebring. Kim let the second place car pass on the last lap.
I announced to our team, we're going to make a fake pit stop and come in and go out again. And then nobody was happy about it.
And going around that last lap, guess what? The car ran out of fuel.
Grace of God, for being nice guys, he runs out of fuel and we win the race anyways.
But that dominance would come at a cost. The sports governing body, the SCCA, effectively banned Corvette from competing in Baker's category.
During that period of time, our major competitor was the Porsche 944 Turbo.
Corvette never lost a race to Porsche during the Escort Endurance Series.
And I think that ultimately was the demise of the Corvettes in that series. They pulled the Corvette out of that series and they created the Corvette Challenge.
And a big portion of that was due to what Kim had done.
Baker's talent behind the wheel led to a new role under the hood.
They asked Kim to politely not race in that series, but to build the cars and to set them up for the other race teams there. But please don't race the cars yourself.
I didn't do the actual engineering development. I just supplied them with data and laps.
What Kim and Baker Racing were doing on the racetrack was condensing the product testing that Corvette had to go through.
You can eliminate 100,000 miles of production road testing with a day at the racetrack.
And we would find things that needed to be fixed with the car, and next year those fixes were put into production by Chevrolet for the Corvette.
I got to work with the best engineers at Corvette. You know, I got to work with John Heinrichsey and Jim Miniker.
So we were actually competitors all the way through from like 1984 right up to 1990. And I'd say fierce competitors. When we got into the endurance run and you saw Kim as a team member, it was a totally different Kim.
He helped us understand where the real sweet spots were and helped us gain a better and more durable Corvette.
The next Corvette included the legendary ZR1 and a record-setting run with Corvette's King of the Hill.
ZR1 was everything to Corvette and General Motors. It was a brand new ground-up engine. It could not fail. It would have been a disaster. So we had to make sure that it was durable and performed well, and Kim had a big part in that.
The ZR1 was the big hero. Never skipped a beat. Came right off the assembly line. It was production built engine. In that test, there was a cement bridge, and I was standing on the bridge, and when the ZR1 went by, it displaced so much air, the concrete would raise up and bounce.
Heart of a racer, mind of an engineer, Baker's attention to detail is what continuously put him ahead of the pack.
He was so meticulous that when he was showroom stock racing a Fiat X19, there's marker lights in each corner, the front fenders and the back fenders. And I look in the back, and the little marker light is unscrewed from the socket hanging on the wire. I say, Kim, why'd you do that? He says, it lowers the center of gravity.
I came to know Kim Baker 1982 at a race at Lime Rock Park in Connecticut. And Kim was there racing with Fiat in an X19. At the end of the day, I'm driving back to my hotel, and I see Kim and his co-driver doing pit stop changes.
I had Tony Simonera as a co-driver for that manufacturer's challenge, and he never raced before, so I had a lot of training to do.
Tony was big, Kim is small. When you put two drivers of a different size into a car and you have to change belts, it's sort of a complex, time-consuming event.
He got out of the car faster than he thought he would because I grabbed him and pulled him out.
Kim had Tony sitting outside, up and down out of his car for hours on end. And that, to me, told me anything anybody wants to know about Kim Baker.
All the pieces of this Hall of Fame journey fit perfectly, starting with Kim Baker's choice over 40 years ago.
If I didn't choose the C4 Corvette, maybe I wouldn't have been successful.
Kim Baker shaped the entire future of the Corvette because of what he did with that C4 car.
He was top notch all the way through, and when you think about him going into the Hall of Fame, that's the kind of person you really want to have in there.
I remember seeing letters from General Motors congratulating him and thanking him for all the work he's done, and it's a big public display of how good the car is, mainly because of how good he made the car.
I consider myself the luckiest racer around to be working with Kim.
When he'd get something done and I'd ask him how'd that go, he'd say, or perfect. Kim, you did it perfect.
I owe the Hall of Fame committee everything right now. They were to recognize me. At this point in my life, that means everything. It means some people haven't forgotten.
For his pioneering performance and championship legacy, we welcome Kim Baker into the Corvette Hall of Fame.